Hey, you got time for a beer? My name's Jake. This is my show. Today we've got a limited release, apparently. Alaskan Strawberry, or it's Alaskan Brewing Company. Yeah. Strawberry Haze IPA. It says it's an India Pale Ale brewed with strawberries. 12 ounces, 6% ABV. It might say something else about IBUs, but it's got a thing worn off, and it's worn off on that spot. So I don't know. Alaskan limited release, government warning, brewed by Alaskan Brewing Company in Juneau, Alaska. Local Alaskan flavor, glacial water, Alaskan wheat, brewed in Juneau, Alaska. Strawberry Haze IPA, more of that. All right. So 6%, should be hazy, I would expect. Probably tastes like strawberries, but it probably tastes like fermented strawberries, which is different. Oh, by the way, by the time this is out, it'll be Thursday. So it's New Brew Thursday. This is a new brew. I have not had this one before. I've only got 4 of them left. Well, I've had this once, maybe. Only 4 of them left. And my girlfriend definitely had one the other day. And I don't remember what it was like, but she had one, and she said she liked it, so we'll see how this is going to go. So hazy, probably tastes a little bit like strawberries. Fermented strawberries probably, which I tend to not like because I don't like it when my strawberries are macerated, which is how fermented strawberries tend to taste. I was hoping it'd be a little bit pink. It's not. Wheat, so obviously it's going to be cloudy, but that's another thing that you get with hazy IPAs. You get cloudy beer because that's what you're supposed to get. It's supposed to be sweet because it's a hazy IPA, and that's what they like when over there in New England, apparently. Not the bitter punch in the face hop flavor. 6%, so it shouldn't taste like it's going to punch you in the mouth with the alcohol, so that's nice too. Let's see. What's it actually like? It smells like an IPA with a little bit of sweetness, which that makes sense. Yep, that crushed strawberry with, yeah, that's what it tastes like. With hops, crushed strawberries and hops. That's what it tastes like. Like if you put hops in a strawberry pie. Yeah, like that. They could have put like gelatin in with this and then made it more like a strawberry pie, which would be really super interesting. And I'd probably drink a lot more of it because I like Jello shots. But also, it's probably difficult to make it have the gelatin in it and not just end up a gloppy mess after a month. At least that's what I've heard about bananas. Bananas will make your meat a gloppy mess after 3 months. So you need to be careful with them. Let's see, what beers does this remind me of? Every once in a while you get like a fruited wheat beer. Like this tastes like Oberon, but instead of putting oranges on the glass, you put strawberries. You could probably do that real easy. The all day haze? No, that's not what it was. It was the all day one that Founders made with the wheat beer. Kind of like this, but this has strawberries. It's just got that slight strawberry flavor too, which is kind of strange. There's a definite wheat flavor to it though too, which makes it taste more like the pie, in my opinion. Okay, so I was thinking about it. What should this remind me of? I mean, it's a wheat beer. It's got strawberries in it. It should definitely remind me of summer. So I'm going to tell you a story about summer camp. So one summer camp, we decided to go drinking, but we wanted to take one of our friends who hadn't done a lot of drinking because he was pretty young. 21, obviously, because we would never break any laws like that. Those are big ones. Contributing to the delinquency of minors is a terrible thing to do, and don't do that. But so we took this guy out, me, my brother, and another guy that was on camp staff. It was a real good time. Built the campfire out in North Camp there. Burned some wood. Went through, I mean, there were the four of us drinking on it. We went through a 30 case real quick. The four of us during the night. We got done at like 8 and we got done drinking at like midnight or so. And then we walked back. But we had driven out to North Camp in my van. And had definitely left a mess out there. There were cans and stuff around, and we had to get the van so that we could take it up to get pallets in it. So I made the guys that were working with me walk with me out to get the van because I had to take them to go get the pallets in it. And they got to help pick up too. So we did that. It was a good time. So basically 3 of us, because we were older than the younger guy, we all demolished that 30 box real quick. The younger guy had 3 beers in the time we were out there, I think. And he was just out in the chair that we were at, one of the bag chairs. He was out. The other 3 of us are up standing around the fire poking at it with their feet and stuff because, believe it or not, we were all Eagle Scouts. But yeah, it was a good time. A good time. Got to talk to some friends about this thing that I'm doing. They said that they always like it because it's great fun to watch me do this. It's like they're having a beer with me. So thanks, Mike and Greg. You were both involved in this story, believe it or not. I'm not going to tell you who was who or who did what, but they were. I don't think Roy watches this, but maybe he does. Who knows? Maybe I'll stumble upon it. We're friends on Facebook. That's pretty good. I can see why she liked it. What else does this remind me of? Alaska. So at one point I was reading Into the Wild. A story about the McCandless kid. Went out into the Alaskan wilderness and then died out there. And they found his papers because a prolific writer, apparently. Always wanted to go to Alaska. One time, I decided that I was going to go out camping by myself. And I did. Do you know how hard it is to take enough to pack out enough beer with you to get drunk on? It's hard. So, well, to carry that and the water that you actually need to be out there to drink, to cook with, to put out your fire, harder. So I brought whiskey with me. I figured nobody else was going to be around. I could be as much of a butthole as I wanted to be if it's just me. So that's what I did. I went out with a flask and a tent. I just stayed overnight, but I mean, it was a place that I had never been before. Up at my family's property up in Edenville. We bought right up against state land, so I walked out like 4 or 5 poles because we live, or the property abuts the power lines that run through there. So walked out like 5 power lines and then headed south a little bit where it's further away from the road. We found a decent spot. I thought there was supposed to be water there. There might have been because there were geese flying overhead, but I didn't see the water. How the maps that I looked at like there should be water there. But I think it was just that it was snow when I was looking at it, and it could have been snow, it could have been water or marsh of some sort. Actually, it's probably a marsh because that's kind of what the grasses and stuff look like that were around there. Stayed out there overnight. It was fun. Read most of Holes, because at that point in time I was reading books on my iPad or my iPod Touch, which went through battery real fast because it was old, and this was a while ago, so I didn't have an iPhone or an iPad for that matter. But bringing it back to McCandless, I decided to put on Facebook, because everybody posts that kind of crap on Facebook, Into the Wild. Because, well, I was going into the wild, carrying what I could on my back out into the wilderness to see what I could find. Come to find out, not much. I ate my ramen noodles with the mushrooms that I brought. It was pretty good. Cooked them on the fire. They were kind of smoky, pretty good. I liked it. Burned my hand a little bit on the handle of the pot that I brought out, but that was fine because it wasn't bad. Just a little. It was through like a t-shirt, I think, because I took off my t-shirt to do that because it was summertime and it was hot, and there weren't any bugs around because there's a fire going. I did almost catch that on fire because I dug the hole to build the fire in, and the grass wasn't far enough out, but I put it out, used up about half the water that I thought I was going to have, which stunk because that means that I don't have quite enough water for the ramen that I was going to make. But things happen. You got to do what you got to do, right? That was good. We'll drink again for sure. Good thing I still have 3 more left. All right, so you can find me on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all at _69. You can tell me your stories in the comments, please. I love stories. Tell me that you're listening. I appreciate that. Even if you're not, give me a like, and I'll know that you are. I've got a quote for you from John Glenn. Another Eagle Scout, weird. He said, "We are more fulfilled when we are involved in something bigger than ourselves." And that's John Glenn. Astronaut. Politician. All around good guy from what I understand. Pretty cool dude. Yeah, so check me out, TubaJake _69 on the things. Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Tell me your stories, comments, whatever you need to do. Next time, you got time for a beer.